Hi guys, I wanted to talk about formulations because there are three different basic types that affect our foundations and that we wear, and they will in turn affect how long they last throughout the day and what sort of detail we're going to have to perform to keep them looking their best. The most simple formula is a water-based one. Obviously, we would know those from the good old pancake days of Hollywood. You've seen those Max Factor round discs, and they would literally get a sponge, wet it, apply it, and put it on their faces. And they were great products. They stem from theatre. They last for a determined amount of time. You're not going to get long wear with them, and if you perspire, they will come off. There are water-based foundations as well, but those often need setting. The second type, and very widely used for many years now actually, are oil-based makeups. They stem from theatre as well. In today's cosmetics, an oil-based foundation will still need to be set with powder. It is waterproof, but it's not long wearing. It's not transfer proof. It will transfer, which means it will get onto your clothes, it will rub off, and also it will migrate because of the heat of the body, warming up the oils in those foundations, and they emulsify and they move. So those need maintenance. They can look beautiful, but they do need maintenance. The most recent one that's evolved within the last decade, and I think is probably the most predominant formulation now, are silicone-based ones. And silicone-based formulas are waterproof, they are generally long-wearing, and they do not require setting. How do we store them? Storing cosmetics is a very important factor of keeping them in the best condition. You know, oil does go rancid after a long period of time because the minute oxygen gets into packaging, it will change the way the cosmetic performs. A water-based formula is easier to store, but inevitably can dry out. So you need to make sure it's sealed tightly. When we look at silicone formulas, I feel that that is the area that people really are not aware of. They do not understand the formulation. They don't know what those ingredients are that are sitting on the back of those bottles or boxes. As someone who makes products with silicone formulas, over the years, I've noticed that a lot of artists and just makeup lovers really are not understanding the ingredients and how they perform and how to store them. Silicone in itself is a beautiful product, but in its pure form is part gas. And when gases get warm, they expand. And when they expand, they are released. And what happens is evaporation occurs and a product will shrink down and start to dry out. You'll see it in new sort of glide-on lip pencils and eye pencils, and you'll also see it in foundations, unless they're in something like this, which is an airless pump, okay? So when they're in a palette, how do you protect them? If I use my own palettes here to illustrate, this is a silicone cream. It's very dense, it's very creamy, and it's very long wearing. And that's what we love about a silicone. With a silicone, how do we store and protect it from evaporation? I always recommend to wrap it, saran wrap it. Put some sort of seal when you're not using it. When you are using it, don't leave it wide open all day long. Don't leave it exposed to the oxygen. That is for any product. Your gel pots of liner, your gel pots of cheek color, anything that is a silicone formula in a jar is not airtight, because the minute you open the lid, you're exposing it to air. You can't escape that. So when you store it in between uses, wrap it up and put it in a cold environment, because by keeping it cold, you stop the expansion of gas, thus the departure of it, and the product is more likely to stay in its original form. Always read the ingredients on the box. It's really important to educate yourself and to learn that one product does not work in the same way or last as another one with a different set of ingredients. As soon as you understand this, it will empower your skills, it'll make you more confident, and you'll be able to get the best out of your products.